What's up, guys? 2023 is gone, 2024 is here. Got another great year of horror ahead of us. I just know it. And right now I'm gonna count down my top 10 most anticipated horror movies of 2024. Let's go. What's up, guys? So exciting, a brand new year. This probably won't even come out until after the new year, maybe before, we'll see. Probably before, actually. Yeah, because the new year isn't until, is it Monday? I think it's Monday. So yeah, I think this will be out right before. But yeah, I always look forward to doing these most anticipated videos. This is usually the last that I'm gonna do in my end of year top 10s. But I think you're gonna get 2 of these videos because I did my homework, looked at all the movies coming out. There's a lot of ones that I'm looking forward to. So I think I'm gonna give you 2 lists. So it'll be 2 different videos. Don't worry, there'll be some really good stuff on the second video as well. And it does pain me to not put some of that stuff on this list. But yeah, we gotta cut the line somewhere, right? Also, before I jump into this, be sure you check out my second channel, Drumdums Xtra. A lot more horror content, and it's mostly like clips from my live streams, some really fun topics and stuff that I won't normally put on this channel. That doesn't mean the good content's on this channel, it's just a different type of content. This is where I pretty much do my reviews. That's more topical type stuff. So I urge you, check out Drumdums Xtra if you haven't. And keep in mind, guys, there's so many movies we still don't know about that are probably gonna be dropping on Shudder, platforms like that. So there's always some nice surprises along the way throughout the year. One more quick thing, I was gonna put the unknown Jordan Peele movie on here, but I just read that it has been dropped from its release date. So it might be pushed back to 2025. All right, so let's jump into it. I'm gonna give you 2 honorable mentions. First one, I'm gonna say Night Swim, even though it's probably not the most anticipated for me, but I am seeing that movie next week. And I wanted to at least put it on here before I see the movie because it would make no sense for me to put it on the second list if I drop that list after the movie. So Night Swim is a Blumhouse movie. I would imagine there's a couple of Blumhouse movies on here. And look, I know people give Blumhouse a hard time, but every now and then they'll come up with something really good. So this could be good, but it's about a swimming pool, and I'm guessing that there's some sort of history. I'm thinking stuff like Stir of Echoes, where there was like a dead person in the wall in that movie. Could be a dead person under the swimming pool, and there's a ghost that's gonna haunt them. I'm just guessing here. Wyatt Russell, Kurt Russell's son, is in this, and I'm a big fan of his. He's been putting out some good films lately, so really curious about this one. Next item I mention is The Watchers, directed by Ishana Shyamalan. That is M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, and just that alone, apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, has me extremely curious. Maybe she has some really good ideas that her father, I don't know if he's drying out or not. I don't think so, but I guess it's fresh blood, but it's M. Night Shyamalan blood, right? His daughter. I'm making this sound really cryptic. So reading the plot synopsis, Dakota Fanning's in this, and her and a group of friends, they're in like a forest, and they've got to fight some creatures every night. It sounds like a Shyamalan type of plot. So I'm sure, will she follow in her father's footsteps and have like a crazy twist at the end of this movie? I'm guessing so. Maybe she got some input from her father. I know her father is producing this as well. Okay, jumping into the top 10. Number 10 is gonna be Radio Silence's untitled monster thriller. Very little is known about this movie. It was once titled Dracula's Daughter, but from what I gathered, reading here, it's a group of kidnappers that abduct a band of young people. And I'm thinking it's one of those situations where the villain kidnaps a person that they should not kidnap. Very dangerous. Maybe it's a vampire type story. That's what it sounds like to me. But I like Radio Silence, I'm not the biggest fan of Scream 5 and 6, but I really loved Ready or Not. So really curious to see what this is going to be. And it's a creature feature, something out of their wheelhouse. Number 9 is A Quiet Place Day One, John Krasinski directing. This is a prequel. Going to show how this whole thing started. Look, I'm not the biggest fan of the A Quiet Place movies. I think they're very well done. I might have preferred the second one a little bit better than the first one, but it's one of those premises it's hard to buy, especially when you got a baby and you got to keep that baby quiet. And I'm going to tell you right now that you can't keep a child quiet. If they're going to cry, they're going to cry. You got to let them cry. So every time a child cries and then she's like, shh, be quiet, and then the child doesn't be quiet, I'm like, bullshit, okay? Sorry, that kid would be dead. Damn, I'm getting morbid. Okay, number 8, The Crow. There is no release date for this movie yet. I'm hearing weird things about the movie. I've heard some things that I can't even like officially tell you because I could get in trouble. It's out there. You can find it, okay? I just don't want to be the guy to get in trouble for saying it. But there's leaks and stuff like that, so you can find the leaks. But this is sort of a retelling of the first movie, but don't expect it to be exactly like the first movie or even the graphic novel. There's a lot that I don't know about this movie, okay? And I'm really curious to see Bill Skarsgård's performance in this. He's the one hope that we have for this movie. And the reason I'm a bit skeptical is just because we haven't had a really good Crow movie since the first. I do really like the second one. It's grown on me quite a bit. But if you tell me you don't like the second movie, I completely understand that. I can't even really argue with you, okay? It does have some weird shit about it. So, is this going to be another bad Crow movie, or is it going to be something great? We shall see. Number 7, Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire. I'm just a massive fan of both properties, Godzilla and King Kong. It's a fun popcorn movie. I have a good time with these. I didn't like King of the Monsters just because I really, really hated the human characters. And the human characters aren't even that great in any of the other movies either, but at least they were bearable, I guess, in the last one. I liked Skull Island. I liked Godzilla vs. Kong. So we'll see how X is going to be. The trailer looked ridiculous, though, because you got Godzilla and Kong both banding together to fight Red Kong or whatever he's called. And I'm still going to watch it. It's a popcorn movie. It's going to be fun, right? We need popcorn movies. I like some variety in my horror throughout the year. I don't want every horror movie to be dark and, sad maybe and like way too freaky. I like some fun shit too, and this is definitely fun. Number 6, the Crystal Lake series, and I put a huge asterisk by this because we don't have a release date yet. We haven't heard anything about this yet, and I'll be honest, I'll be shocked if it does see the light of day in 2024. But I want it so bad that I have to put it on this list. There's another movie that's going to be on this list that we still don't know for sure either. But it's high at my list, so I had to put it on here too. This is a prequel. We're going to see Pamela Voorhees' story. And I remember, even before this was announced, I used to always talk about how I'm a big fan of Pamela and how it would be cool to do a prequel a series and show how all this unfolded. Is Pamela going to be killing? I don't know. There's got to be some killing, right? Otherwise, what's the point of this series? Are you going to see Jason? From what I've read, I think you're going to see Jason. You're going to get a little bit of everything. But I'm getting nervous. We still haven't heard anything. And maybe they're just kind of keeping it close to the vest at this point. But we need some new Friday the 13th. It's been since 2009, since the last movie. Thank God we have 11,000 fan films to keep us afloat. But I'm ready for the real deal, baby. Let's go. Number 5. The Strangers. There's going to be 3 freaking Strangers movies in 2024. Isn't that crazy? I'm not even going to bother reading up on the plot synopsis. I'm just a fan of the first 2 movies. And I love that the first 2 movies are so different. And, I guess I just want to be surprised. What is going to be the story here? Are you going to be shocked that it's going to be the strangers attacking some poor soul, home invasion movie style? Are they going to do that for all 3 movies, though? I don't know. I got questions. I got a feeling they got something up their sleeve if we're getting 3 movies, because why would you do 3 movies and it be just the same thing? I don't know. This literally just dropped, though, so I can tell you this. We know that Rennie Harlin's directing this. That does have me a little bit worried, a little bit concerned. But it's got an official release date now, May 17th. I don't know if these movies are going to be released a couple of months apart, I'm guessing. But it's a game of survival when a couple played by Madeline Pesh from Riverdale and Gabrielle Basso, the night agent, have to survive the night while being terrorized by masked strangers. See? Told you, it's going to be, pretty much the same type deal as the last 2. But if you're doing 3 movies, you better have something up your sleeve, which I'm thinking they do. Maybe this movie will end on a big cliffhanger and it will automatically connect to the next movie. I'm sure it will. I'm thinking about Fear Street, when they did the 3 Fear Street movies, but those took place in different time periods. Is that what they're going to do with this one? We shall see. Okay, number 4, and let me just say, these top 4 are super stacked. I could put number 4 at number 1, and I wouldn't even be mad at myself, all right? So number 4, Alien Romulus. That's the working title. I don't think it's going to be actually called Alien Romulus, but what I've gathered is that it takes place between the first and second Alien. Because remember, I think it was 57 years between the first and second movie, so there's a lot of room in there to play around, and you don't need Sigourney Weaver. Kind of a genius idea for a plot. You got Fede Alvarez directing, totally in for that. Ridley Scott is producing. He has seen the movie, and he says it's really great. Shocker, right? Producer of a movie says their movie's great. But so far, I've really enjoyed just about every Alien movie. Alien vs. Predator, I like Requiem. I don't really like the first one. I know that's crazy. A lot of people hate Requiem, but I actually have a good time with Requiem. Yeah, all the Alien movies. I'm just such a fan of this franchise, and I have a feeling I'm going to like this one. I love Fede Alvarez. So, yeah, bring it on. Let's go. Number 3, Terrifier 3. Couple things you need to know about that one. Sienna is coming back. Lauren Levera. And, man, she's one of the best final girls I've seen in years. She is stacked as a final girl, and she's got her wits. She's got a little bit of a supernatural thing going on, and she kicks ass, and she's really easy on the eyes. And yeah, I mean, what a great final girl, and she really earned her keep in just one movie, so much so that, you know, we want her back in the next movie. Hell, I'd take her in every freaking Terrifier movie, if I'm being honest. I like her better than Laurie Strode. But this is a Christmas movie, okay? That's irresistible, because I think the last 2 Terrifier movies were on Halloween, so this one's gonna be on Christmas. Christmas movies, like horror movies, are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's like every year we get more and more of them. And some decent ones. Like I just reviewed A Creature Was Stirring, and that was really great. I enjoyed the hell out of it. It's gonna be on my top 10 Christmas horror list. I'm definitely putting out a top 10 Christmas horror list next year, but I'm gonna start preparing for these things maybe like a couple months in advance, because I had plans this year that I didn't even get to accomplish. Number 2, They Follow. Now this has a huge asterisk by it. We don't know if it's actually coming out this year. There's really no release date, but I'm hoping and praying, because it does go into production early this year. And if you remember, you know, like Halloween, the David Gordon Green movies, they shot early in the year and then they were released in October. So hopefully they can do that with this. I'm sure the budget's not gonna be more than like 15 million. David Robert Mitchell, man, his work on the first movie, I just loved his style. I loved the score by Disasterpiece. I think Disasterpiece is coming back to score this one. You got Macon Monroe coming back, which is awesome. If they can be as experimental, but also as chilling and terrifying as the first movie, then it's going to be awesome. And it's called They Follow, so maybe it's like kind of like Aliens. It's a numbers type deal, like you got more than one coming after you. So this could be big. This could be the logical next step in the story. And I'm hoping to God this isn't a stinker. You know, don't give us The Descent too. And number 1 is Maxine. Man, I am such a huge fan of X and Pearl. Mia Goth is a revelation. She has just been on fire these past few years. And just the plot of this, it's a freaking 80s slasher. It's set in the 80s. By the way, this is Fangoria, where I read this from. But Maxine, who was the only survivor of the bloody incidents of X, as she continues her journey towards fame as an actress in the 1980s of Los Angeles, starring Mia Goth, Juan Carlo Esposito, Michelle Monaghan, Kevin Bacon, Halsey, Lily Collins, and Bobby Cannavale. Some good star power in there, though. So yeah, that's my first list, but don't worry, I'm going to give you another list. I got some really, really solid movies on the second list. I wouldn't put out the list if I didn't think they were great. Okay, so in the comments below, let me know your most anticipated, and I guarantee a lot of you guys are gonna be like, why didn't you put this on the list? It's probably on the second list, okay? Just calm down. Also, guys, I just started Drumdums memberships on the channel. If you don't want to do the Patreon thing, you can support me on channel memberships. So definitely check that out. Just click the join button and it'll show you the options and everything. Be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day on Fridays, Review for Fridays. Follow me at Drumdums on my socials. Support me on Patreon. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and Drumdum out.